Hey there friends, how's it going? Today I've got a speed build for you. I made this one in Willow Creek. It's an apartment building, and then on the ground floor we've got a laundromat on the left and a pizza restaurant on the right. It's the start of a project that I've been wanting to work on for a while and decided that I might as well just start, which is a save file where you rebuild every lot, every household you remake in the entire game to essentially create a new foundation for your save files, and I thought that that would be a really fun thing to do, if very time consuming. So I decided to start with Willow Creek. Usually there's a gym here, there's a strip of community lots, and I decided that the lot next door to it, I'd make that a gym instead, and I'd have this one be an apartment building because I just thought it was a good spot for it, but also have it be community downstairs with the laundromat and the pizza restaurant. I used this brick from City Living. I think it looks really good on the building because I really like how varied it is. City Living has some really good bricks and that kind of industrial looking stuff. I make it a bit wider because I think I made it too small. There's 4 apartments on the second floor and 2 on the top floor. I was originally going to have 2 on the second and 2 on the top, but I thought I could make the second one have some more. When I did the speed build, I did leave the 2 upstairs ones empty because I'd already been building for a very long time. The speed build is already 48 minutes, which is insane, so strap in. But I thought I could leave them for future videos and come back to them later. I cut out some places for landscaping because the problem is I wanted to have like a little area at the back with like the dumpster from Eco Lifestyle where you could put your rubbish, but I also want to have enough space at the front to have like a tree-lined pavement and space for the shops to like have little displays up or whatever. I ended up only having one of them have a little display, but it is what it is. I put some fountains in the centre too. I went back on fourth on the landscaping bit, but I think I've cut a lot of that out because it was just like the speed build was already really long and I couldn't deal with having that much extra stuff in. The stairs, it's really weird. I couldn't just place them. I had to essentially place them and then place them underneath because otherwise they wouldn't stack correctly. So now you can see me going over the windows. Wanted to use the ones from Discover University to start with, but the problem is they don't match anything, not even the other windows or the doors. So I eventually decided on these ones from City Living and the base game. So the single tile one comes from City Living, and the 2 wide and 3 wide ones come from the base game. Because they must have like forgot to put it in the base game or whatever, so then they added it in City Living. I just think they really match the vibe that I want to go through the whole street. I thought it just looked really nice. I used a lot of the ivy from Discover University on the sides too, so you may not have got the Discover University windows, but I still did use Discover University. Also, I think Discover University comes with some pizzas, so I guess the pizza shop is the Discover University representation that we all needed, I guess. In hindsight, I'm not sure if I like or not the railings I put on the front. I kind of just dealt with them because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go with a black metal or a white metal, and that was kind of a debate I had on for a little bit when I was building. I eventually went with a white metal because I just thought it was a bit too contrasty with the black metal, but in hindsight maybe I should have gone with the black metal. I'm not really sure. Hindsight's 2020. Actually, that reminds me, I used to think hindsight's 2020 meant hindsight is 2020 because of the COVID pandemic. So I always thought it meant that, like, all that happened in 2020, oh, that's hindsight. But no, I learned that hindsight is 2020 does not mean that. It means 2020 vision, like great vision. But so you learn something new every day, I guess. Oh yeah, I was struggling with walls here because I found out that half walls. So when you place fences, you can place them on the ground level, connecting with like a wall on a foundation without them being on a foundation. But you can't do that with half walls, and I always thought you could. So that was really disappointing to learn, because I was like, oh, so I can't use these half walls I wanted to use because the railings weren't working. But the railings were actually just glitching, I don't know why, and I just replaced them and they fixed it. In the front, I used these tree cages, because I thought, like, that's realistic for a street. You see those all the time. They did block the view of the front of the apartments, which I guess is a good thing depending on how you look at it, because it meant I didn't have to look at the ugly build. Like, I didn't have to look at its flaws in the front, because they just got hidden, just got hidden by foliage. Speaking of foliage, I'm doing the landscaping now in the front. I think it looks really nice. Well, no, that's a lie. That's not what meant to say. I meant to say that I struggled with it a bit, and I think it turned out nice considering. I've cut out like a few of the struggles with it because I had like a bunch of other ideas for it at first, but I went with this purple vibe with the lavender. I wanted to bring purple into the rest of the building, but I just didn't. I forgot to do that. But that's okay. I think it looks good regardless. I did a bit of pink too. In the center of these, I put in some fountains, which I'm still not sure about whether that was a good idea or not. I'm not sure if it makes much sense from like an apartment context, but it looked alright, so I guess that's fine. And there actually isn't any terrain paint at all on this lot, because I placed their base game like flower patches, but like they're like essentially tiles with grass and flowers and stuff, so it gives it a lot of texture, and you can't see terrain paint or anything through them. So I thought they looked really nice and lush, and then I just realised, I don't have to do terrain paint, so I just didn't, because terrain paint is quite glitchy in this game, so I just didn't bother to. It took me a while to work out that I wanted to put a fountain in here, because there was a few different things. I struggled with the landscaping, to be honest, because when you have a build this small, like a section of landscaping this small, it's a question of like what can you put there and how can you blend it in with the rest of the environment. Because keep in mind, I'm building this in a safe file. I have every other lot bulldozed. I can't look around like I normally do to get inspiration from like the kind of vibes of the builds around me, because that's the whole point. You can't do that, which meant I kind of questioned like, what do I do? So I think it turned out well. But it was very much a process. As all builds are. I had this mailbox from For Rent that I used, which I placed inside. I cut it out. That stayed like the entire build, but I really wanted to use that for a mail room, so I tried a few times to have like a mail room, but it never really worked out because I was struggling with the groundstairs floor plan, to be honest. I kept the same mailbox the entire time, but I just like changed my mind about what I was going to do with it and stuff and where I was going to put it. It moved around a lot. I don't think I ever deleted it. It was just constantly haunting me. I tried putting a fire escape, but the annoying thing is when you place it right next to the building, it jumps up. I didn't want it to do that. I wanted it to like be next to it, but honestly in hindsight it's probably a good thing, because while it would have looked cool, it would have made next door look weird / make the lot have to be smaller. Shouldn't have been very fun. Now I wanted to put these like adverts on the roof because I thought that made sense, but my chat told me not to, so oh well. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that I recorded this all live. You can go back and watch like the full VODs if you want to watch like 8 hours worth of me struggling trying to decide what to build. So, subscribe so you don't miss when I stream in the future. Here, we are doing like a little trash area in the back, because I wanted to have like an area where you throw out everything, because I thought that just made sense, you know. I wasn't sure where I was going to put the bins. So, I got all of this debug is from Eco Lifestyle, and I have like this dresser and stuff, and the dumpster. So, your Sims can woohoo in the dumpster, so there is gameplay there. I don't think I put many woohoo spots, like any specific ones. I think the dumpster is the only really specialty woohoo spot I put. I've got the dumpster, and then I've just got beds and showers and stuff. So it's kind of sad from that perspective, but there'll be a sauna next door in the gym / spa, so you've got that. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, here I'm putting on like the ivy, which was a bit of a problem in some areas, because I wanted to have it everywhere, but it clipped a bit into some of the floors, and so one piece I had to remove, which I was really disappointed by because I thought it looked really good, but I had to get rid of it, which I'm a little sad about. I removed the billboards there, and I think it was the right decision to remove them, but it's still disappointing that I had to remove them, because I thought they added something nice up there, but the vibe just wasn't working. But I might come back and add them when I redo this entire strip of streets, because the thing is, like, as I build over time, I'll come back and edit the old ones to make it all blend together better. Here I'm deciding what I'm going to do on the interior with the door situation and the floor plan for the downstairs. This floor plan doesn't stay with the door here, but it does make its appearance in a good proportion of the build before I delete it. Because this is the mailroom I was talking about. And I was thinking of having like a rental office or something, but I ended up scrapping that plan. I went through a lot of doors deciding which one. I settled for a while on these base game ones, but eventually picked different base game ones. And I think it worked alright. It worked alright, which is a theme that you'll see across this build. It was all right. These apartment floor plans that I'm doing change a lot. Like I did just basic default ones, just trying to decide how I divvy it up, and then I decided I didn't like it. Here's the start of the laundromat. There's a swatch on the laundry machines that's got like coins on it, like a coin slot. One of the swatches has it. So I wanted to use that, which meant I couldn't do much variation in colour because it was only one specific one that had the swatch, like only one colour. So I couldn't do like blue with the slot. I could only do white with the slot. I originally made this next door bit, because you can see I'm putting the signs outside. It was originally going to be like a cafe, and I struggled a lot being like, okay, so what am I going to put in here? And I eventually just decided that I didn't like it, so I swapped it out for a pizza shop, which I think turned out alright. Not set on it. There were things in this build that I'm not set on, and I would change in the future if I were to remake it, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I thought I cut out all this me pressing ESC accidentally, but apparently I did not, so that's fun. These TV screens, I thought, like, in a real laundromat, you'd have them up above there, so I put them. You don't really see laundromats these days, though. I can't remember the last time I've been to a laundromat. There is one near my house, but that doesn't mean I go to it. I actually, in this speed build, you won't see me put a single hamper in the entire build. Before I put it on the gallery, I went back and made some adjustments and added a bit, like, some toilet paper and some like, hampers and stuff, because I realised that there are no hampers, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot to add the hampers. So, I went back and added them, so don't worry. There are hampers, it is functional. I actually haven't played with laundry before, except for my off-the-grid Let's Play, so I've never, like, used the laundry machines and stuff. So I think it could be fun to live here and use the laundry machines, and, like, bring your stuff down to the laundromat to do. You could also, if you wanted, the problem is you can't have small businesses on residentials, but if you wanted to, did I just say residentials? I meant residential rentals, I'm tired. But if you made it just a residential, you could, like, cut off, like, most of the apartments and the pizza shop, like, all but one apartment, and then have this laundromat be the thing you keep on one of the apartments, and run a small business as a laundromat, because you can do that. I also want to point out at this point, I wanted to make the build like a little bit grungy and grimy, and then I changed my mind when I think it was that floor tile that made me change my mind. I decided that instead of making it grungy, I wanted to make it, like, bright and modern, which I think turned out alright in the end, but it was a bit of a struggle, because, like, I thought it was fitting, because I was like, do I make this a cheap apartment or an expensive apartment? Because, like, obviously all apartments are expensive in real life, but, like, do I go for, like, the grungy slumlord vibe or the modern high street vibe? And I went with the modern vibe in the end. I wasn't entirely sure how I'd lay the laundromat out for a while here, because I wanted, obviously, enough machines that it looks normal, but I also wanted it to be walkable. What really helped was when I looked up some pictures of other people's laundry machines in The Sims, and I saw one that had, like, a vending machine in it. They had used the fridge from Get to Work, but I used the high school years vending machines, and they, like, really added some colour in. I thought they were really nice. I also really want to use, there's these posters in the base game that are movie posters. I want to use them because I thought they were fitting for a laundromat, so I popped them in. They added some more colour too. I think colours and plants really helped. As they always do. Plants are great in The Sims. Also, these Desert Lux curtains are so useful for like corners like these because you can alt place the curtain rods and then you can make it so it looks like it's seamless around the entire corner of that bay window. I actually haven't play tested this build at all, so I'm pretty sure it's functional, but it may not be. I tried these hanging plants, and I feel like they could have worked if I tried hard enough, but I didn't try hard enough, clearly, because they didn't work. I've been sick recently, so I'm so sorry that I missed an upload last week. I really wanted to get one out, but I was obviously getting sick at that point, and now I've gotten sicker, but, so that's fun, but I'm I'm so sad that I missed it. I'm sorry because I was trying to have weekly uploads. I'm actually recording this one, so it's coming out in the past for you guys, but for me, it's coming out tomorrow, as of recording this, and I have been procrastinating because I wanted to go into a studio and record this that I have access to, but I was sick, so I couldn't go in. And then it was like, okay, so do I edit the off the grid episode I have, and I will do that, Konzu, I promise, probably by next week, if I don't get distracted, or do I record the speed build? So eventually I decided I'd just do the voiceover, because I'd already had everything edited and ready to go. Here's where I change out all the doors for the ones that look better, because I didn't like the original doors. They, looked too old, whereas these ones looked newer. I don't know how to explain it, but, they worked, the other ones didn't, essentially. For this mailroom that I was talking about before, I was like, maybe I could put, a counter where you'd leave parcels and stuff, but again, in the end, it just didn't really work out, and I wasn't really sure what to do with it. I'm moving to the restaurant now. This restaurant kitchen, when I put it in, it was still gonna be a cafe, and I, decorated it to be a cafe and stuff, but the kitchen and this back area kind of stayed the same when it turned to a restaurant. Almost exactly the same, actually, because, it worked for both of them, and I didn't want to, gut everything when I had this kitchen that works. I also wanted to change the wallpaper in this kitchen, but I'm just now realizing that I've uploaded it to the gallery and I forgot to change the wallpaper from the one I have in the upload, which is the wallpaper from the Cozy Bistro kit, so that's fun. Here, so I made an entire pastel pop apartment. So in one stream I made the cafe downstairs and the pastel pop apartment, and both of those things got almost entirely gutted from the final build, so I cut out almost that entire stream. But essentially, I had the pastel pop apartment I made when I still thought it was going to be 2 apartments per floor, but it just wasn't working, so I gutted it and made it so they were both half the size. The pastel pop apartment is probably, my least favourite of the apartments, I'm gonna be honest with you, but, it's still alright, I still think it's alright to have your sim live here. It's just, the apartments are hard, because I tried to theme each one around a different kit, because I thought that could be fun, some of my lesser used kits, and honestly it was mainly because I wanted to use this strawberry roll paper, because it's super cute, but I struggled. I think the pastel pop apartment, it helped me a lot when I brought in more colours, because at the start I was trying to base it around this rug, which had pink and orange, and I was trying to stick with just the pink and the pastel orange, but nothing was matching, as this game likes to do. But I think it turned out, I ended up bringing in more colours by changing the rug to green. I ended up changing the rug back, but changing the rug to green maybe, helped so much at the time, so I added more colours, and then I changed it back. Also, the bathroom in here is very much a choice. I wanted to use the lime green toilet from the base game. I did not end up using the lime green toilet from the base game, but the bathroom is still lime green, and I've used the pink and green bathroom set from City Living, which honestly is a vibe. I kind of love it, which might be a controversial thing to say, but I do. Here you can see that I've put in the lime tile now. I mean, I don't know. depends how I edit the video, you might have seen that I've put in the line tile. Also, I put a rug in the bedroom, which might be somewhat of a controversial take considering that there is a rug in the bedroom. However, I have a rug in my bedroom on carpet, and I do think it's weird to have a rug in your bedroom on carpet, but I have it, so I was like, okay, I guess it's fine then. Because it also brought in some yellow, so whatever. Yeah, this couch from the Pastel Pop kit, it brought me so much pain because the swatches essentially made everything harder. Because I was like, okay, so what am I going to do with this couch? Because the orange doesn't match the orange on the rug. So what am I going to do? Because I want the orange to match the orange on the rug. But I also, I want the bright orange, not the pastel orange. So I couldn't get that pastel. I couldn't get the bright orange, just the pastel orange. I didn't want the pastel orange. I wanted the bright orange because that's what would have brought the room together. So then I put in this wall artwork from the kit, which has blue, yellow, and orange on it. So then I added in blue, and that helped so much. And then here I added in the green table. Here I struggled a bunch with couches. Yeah, this whole apartment was a struggle because the problem with the Pastel Pop kit was I wasn't sure what kind of style the furniture was. Like, nothing really, at least in my mind, matched it. So I didn't know what I was going to do, like, style-wise. Like, I knew the colour palette, but I didn't know the style. So that was a struggle. That was very much a struggle. So I'm still not sure. I don't know if it matches. I don't think it matches. It might match, who knows. I tried to go with a yellow, then a blue, then a green, then I think I actually ended up going right back to where I started, which is painful to think about, considering I spent like half an hour on this living room. Honestly, I should have cut some of this out, but I clearly didn't, because I'm now watching myself go back over it. I honestly kind of like the yellow sectional, but chat made me get rid of it. And honestly, I think I could have made it work when I added the wood back in. Because that's another thing that helped. I added some wood accents, like the table and stuff. Oh yeah, and here's the window glitch. So that window essentially went like entirely... it happened again, where it just stops working as a window, and like it essentially phases into the wall, and if you click on it and press it and exit back out from the click on menu, it fixes itself. It's just a really annoying glitch, and now it's making me think, oh god, did I leave it on the gallery upload? Oh yeah, downstairs in the laundromat, I've changed the flooring to a tile from Friend. That was in the cafe speed build, but I chopped that bit out, so you didn't see me changing the flooring. But it went to like this more colourful tile, and that helped it like brighten up the space. Yeah, this window glitch was happening all the time in this apartment, huh? Just saw it again. But yeah, I essentially tried to use like all the others in the Pastel Pop kit, like not all of them, but a lot of them, and it went alright. But Pastel Pop it's an interesting kit. Like, I love the style, or like I used to love the style, which sounds weird to say, but like I used to be obsessed with this kind of houses, like this kind of style, like back in like 2020 or whatever. I would have loved this, and I thought I still did, but this made me doubt my love for it, to be honest. It was a struggle, you know? It was a struggle. Oh yeah, also in my life, I guess I can use this place as kind of like the alternative to a podcast. Guys, I've started a podcast. Oh no, I'm turning into like a straight guy in his 30s. Oh no. I got a job, so that's fun. It does mean, however, that there will probably be less uploads, so I'm sorry about that, because I've now got like more things on. So I've currently tried to do once a week, but I might end up pushing it back to once a fortnight. I'm sorry about that. But hey, I've got a job now, which hopefully will mean in the long term I'll be able to do more content and better content. But that's a long term thing. I'm also trying to stream as much as possible now, because streams are easier to make than videos. Because videos, you obviously have to like come back and edit them, etc., etc. Whereas streams, that you can just kind of be a one and done. So I originally planned to stream once a week, but I've started to like streaming more often than that. But I try to stream like at least that once a week. So there are lots of streams, and I kind of want to like stream a bit of like variety on there. I plan to potentially stream a game called Hitman in the future, which like is very different from this content. Um, this game is like a totally different vibe, but my gaming taste is a lot more diverse than it used to be, and I would kind of like to do like a bit of variety kind of content. I think that could be fun. I kind of want to stream a bit of that potentially, depending on how things go and what goes on in my life. So here we're moving into the Cozy Kitsch apartment. So this one is based on obviously the Cozy Kitsch kit by my Shuno-san, and I tried to do this orange and yellow color palette originally, but I ended up going with an orange and green color palette because the Sims team is allergic to using yellow, it seems. Sorry, orange. Like, there seemed to be hardly any orange stuff, and when I was trying to make it all match, it just didn't. So I added in the green. They really like green. Green and blue are two colours they use a lot of, so the green really helped it out instead of the yellow. Because the problem with yellow is the shades don't work together, whereas with green, the shades work together better. Like, obviously, it's not a foolproof method, but, you know. I was struggling. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Because again, with the Cozy Kitsch kit, I had again this struggle of what style I'm gonna do. Because I wasn't sure, like, if I was gonna do, like, how modern versus how retro I was gonna make it. I ended up, I think, leaning a bit more to the modern side than the retro side. Only because the retro stuff didn't come in colours I liked. My Shuno-san recently made a kitchen set that's up on their Patreon. It's CC, and it kind of matches, like, the vibe of their kit. So it looks really nice, but I don't use CC. But I was so tempted to for this apartment because the kitchen does not look good. I was like, oh, what if like just a little bit of CC, just a teeny bit. But CC is just, it doesn't always stay updated because like, oh, creators will get busy and have lives and stuff, so that's fair. And it's just like, I don't like relying on that because it also makes things harder to download and use. Like, I don't think anyone's going to want to download and play in this apartment, but I still like to have it be usable. Yeah, here's when I change it to green from orange. Because it's green from yellow, sorry, so now it's green and orange. Based on the rug of the Cozy Kitsch kit. I liked the idea of basing it off a rug. I think basing rooms off a rug can look really good. Plants also helped the build out a lot. Plants is tremendously useful for making builds look better. I tried to have the bedroom and the bathroom be like a blue and peach colour. I still wonder why I tried doing that, in hindsight. Because there was a rug that was like blue and peach, but like looking at the blue and peach, I questioned myself. But I eventually changed the bathroom to a green and the bedroom to a green, so it matched the rest of the house, and I think that ended up looking better. Also, I love the exposed brick. Exposed brick accent walls are just such a vibe. And also this plant is such a vibe. I've used it like multiple times in just this build. And also this other plant from the Greenhouse Haven kit. So that's fun. Businesses and hobbies Businesses and hobbies helped this apartment in particular, and Dream Home Decorator helped the entire building. The dresser clips through the wall here, and I did not notice that until I came to edit the final tour together, and that's why I fixed it. But for the entire build, there is a dresser clipping into the wall, and I am sorry about that, and I don't know how I didn't notice that watching back this footage, because it's so obvious. Yeah. Here I'm coming into the next apartment, which I used the refined living room kit for. And someone in the chat said I should do the navy blue. So this entire apartment became the navy blue swatch of the couch. That's what this entire apartment is based on. So I think the navy blue does look good. So I think they were right. And I also did a couple little pops of red because that was in the picture I used from the refined living room kit that matched. The creator kits, they were stunning. I say were because I don't think they can do them anymore. Because of this marketplace crap. The marketplace is just what? I'm not happy about the marketplace. I'm not happy about The Sims at all at the moment, to be honest. eventually put some brick in here too, and that makes it look a whole lot better than when I had it without the brick. So again, brick just helps everything. I tried doing a bright red kitchen. I decided against doing a bright red kitchen in the end. I still kind of think that maybe I should have done a bright red kitchen, and that would have looked good, but I didn't. So what's done is done, you know? Yeah, so this navy blue wall is what I originally tried going for, and I tried this eggplant colour, and I tried a baby blue, and I think it came back to the navy blue with the oh yeah, I also tried a bright red and another shade of eggplant. I was struggling under white. I was struggling with these walls, but the brick just ties everything together, you know. The baby blue someone recommended, but I couldn't. The bathroom I made this like dark blue, which I really like, and the tile floor is from the base game, and the walls are from Jungle Adventure. Like how they did it with City Living, with the Windows set that I was talking about before, which is, it's weird to me, you know, how they do it. I just wish that they'd, instead of putting them in packs, they'd put them in base game updates. And I feel like they've gotten better at that over the years. Of instead of like when they're missing something, they don't just lock it behind the next pack or whatever pack it'll fit in, they usually add it in an update or an SDX drop. Which I wonder how long those will continue for, because it definitely looks like they're almost sunsetting The Sims 4, which honestly good. Like I'm looking forward to The Sims 4 being sunsetted, because I'm not going to move to whatever the next Sims game is. The Sims 4 will be my last Sims game. That's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's kind of good because it's like I'll still play The Sims 4, but it'll be the end of an era, like in what I do in the future, I guess. But Sims 4 will always be. It was like, yeah, great. I love it. I love building in it. Gameplay is lacking in some areas, but I do enjoy it. And it's also extremely buggy. So, like, it's not like the Sims 4. You know, like, I'm happy that it was here, but I'm not sad that it'll be gone. If you know what I mean. Like, I would be sad if it was completely gone, but like I'm not sad it stopped getting new content. Or like it will stop getting new content because I feel like it's kind of outstayed its welcome. Like look how many packs there are. Like the kits recently have been like living room kit after living room kit after living room kit, and these creator packs, what are they called? The marketplace stuff. It's like again, it's all gonna be this after this after this, and it's all gonna like we've already seen like 3 generic living room sets, and the marketplace hasn't even released yet. You know, here this apartment is based off the Book Nook kit, which one of the best kits. It's got such a vibe to it. I kind of want to make it like kind of like a dark, kind of gloomy vibe in here. This is the only 2-bed apartment in the building because I haven't furnished the top 2 apartments. So I have one that's like a double bed, that's the master, and then the master doesn't have a window, funnily enough, and then the one that's not the master has a window that I was saying on stream that like at the moment it looks out to like this beautiful vast thing, but soon when I build the spa it's gonna be looking out to a brick window, so maybe it's not the fanciest. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking about like re-floor planning it and making the master bigger and then like swapping around the master and the non-master because that'll be like more fitting for like the window placement, but we'll see. I feel like usually when I make a build, I'll make the build and then be done with it. But I feel like for this save file, I kind of want to have my builds be like living, you know? I want to come back and change things. I want to like they'll release a update or whatever, and I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll come back and tweak it and alter it. I was struggling a lot, as you can see, with what bed I was going to use. I ended up going with Dream Home Decorator once. Dream Home Decorator ended up kind of low-key carrying this apartment because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. RE the bed situation, which, yeah, this is another one of the apartments I'm not sure on. Honestly, I'm not sure on many of the apartments. I'd say the business chic one, not the business chic. I keep calling Refined Living Room business chic. They did come out together. But I'd say that the Refined Living Room is probably my favourite one out of the apartments. Probably that, followed by Cozy Kitsch, followed by Book Nook, and the Pastel Pot one was always my least favourite. Yeah. I used the sleek bathroom kit in here, and this was like the nicest bathroom on the entire lot. Because I used the sleek bathroom, and like the bathroom I kind of got a little bit carried away with for a moment there. I was like making it all fancy and luxury and luxurious, but yeah. I almost forgot to add fire alarms in, but I added them in now. And this has made me realise, actually, I was supposed to go back in and add bins to the apartment that I hadn't added bins to, but I haven't done that. So on the gallery, they're binless. Which, by the way, if you do want to download the build, my gallery ID, what's it called? EAID is Koali Sims, Koali with 3 eyes. I'll put it on screen now. I'll also link it down in the description below. Now, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the dresser situation in here, because the dresses did not really match anything. I ended up going with these ones from For Rent, which are alright, but they don't quite match, which is a theme of this apartment. Also, in the other apartment, there was this. I wanted to put in a computer, because I put in a bunk bed, and on the bunk bed I wanted to add a computer onto the desk that's underneath it. And I think that I forgot to add the computer in the end. Because I did add the computer in, but I had a game crash, so I had to redo it. The game crash is coming up, actually. So I save, like, after I put in some bunk beds and stuff in here, I save the game, right? Then I go downstairs. I furnished the entire pizza restaurant. I'm like, yep, this looks great, amazing. Then I'm putting in a dining booth, and one of them, it's like, this dining booth isn't slotting correctly, it's not moving correctly. So I place it outside, then I try and delete it. So I'm like, what's going on? So then I like, okay, I'm going to save the game and restart because something's going on. So I escape, save, and it goes on to this glitch that sometimes happens where it just doesn't save. It's stuck on the saving screen infinitely. So I had to force exit the game, and then had to cut. Yeah, here we are, where I've come back after the crash, and I had to like redo all of that, and it was just so sad because it was like, why game, why? The pizza restaurant though, I do really like. I think it looks quite nice. I've kind of gone for this like older wooden vibe. The bar stools. I've got a lot of like gallery walls on it. I think I could actually add more. And actually, you know why I built this pizza restaurant? Because I got a job at a pizza place. So I was like, actually, so I did have it at a cafe, but now I want to make it a pizza restaurant because now I work at a pizza place. So that was the inspiration behind this build. Yeah. So that's why we ended up with a pizza place. I used these Cozy Bistro chairs. I wanted to use the Cozy Bistro bar, but it doesn't match counters or anything. And I decided I wanted to prioritize a wraparound bar over having the Cozy Bistro one. But I did use the Cozy Bistro wallpapers and some pictures. I was really disappointed. I tried using the Cozy Bistro booth in the original one, but the Cozy Bistro booth is a couch, not the booths like from Dine Out, so I couldn't, which is a shame. But I did still use the Cozy Bistro chairs. We're coming back outside here. I put some awnings on the front because I actually tried to combine these two from For Rent to make a bigger awning. I was like, this doesn't work. And I found out that For Rent had like an awning anyway that was bigger, that was the same swatches and everything. So it was like, I've just wasted so much time trying to make it work when For Rent literally has what I'm after. So that was fun. I then go through and I add, you can see the bar stools kind of clip weird with like, not the bar stools, the booths kind of clip weird with like how you can slot tables and chairs to them. And I was like getting rid of them to slot items on them. Like moving them out of the way, putting them on, alt placing them so I could get them exactly how I wanted, then scooting it back. And that was actually doing that process the first time is what caused the game to crash. So I've cut out like when I close and when I like go to save the game because it takes a while to save the game. But there's a few instances of that I saved right before I did this because I was like, I don't want it to crash again. I did add bins in to this downstairs area, so I guess if you're in one of the apartments upstairs, you can just use their bins. And also the bins out the back. I wonder, so I have there's a mysteriously mysterious trash can, or whatever it's called, that's in Debug, that's in the world that comes with businesses and hobbies, and there's also a raccoon that comes with businesses, sorry, 3 raccoons in a trench coat that comes to your door. They're called Trashly Real Person, and they're like, oh yeah, come get a business, open a business. So, and you can read, like, one of their notes on the bin, but I wonder if, like, so you can't set up a small business on a residential rental, but I wonder if Trashly comes to your house anyway to tell you to set up one. Because you can also have it, like, you can set up a small business on, like, its own lot rather than your home lot. So maybe Trashly is like, oh yes, get a venue and you can start a small business, but who knows, maybe not. I used these couches from the Modern Retreat kit because I kind of thought they were the right amount of modern and not modern, which sounds weird, but like they felt like they were just the right fit for a staff room. And I just come around. I wanted to clutter up the kitchen counters enough so your Sims won't autonomously cook on them. Because if you live in an upstairs apartment, Sims are a bit stupid, so they'll probably come down a bunch and try and use those. So I put some clutter on them because Sims can't cook on cluttered counters. So that way that should hopefully be safe. Yeah, I'm coming back around, adding some stuff to the apartment that is actually stuff that I had added before the crash and then forgot I hadn't come back to add. So I then had to do that at the end. And at the moment, this is kind of the stage of the build where we just get to finishing touches. So I extend the gallery wall a bit. I put up a bunch of like pictures in this apartment. Yeah, looking at it, I'm pretty sure I forgot to put the computer, so that's fun. Yeah, adding a dresser. These wall art, I really like these leaf prints, which come from Tiny Living. I think that they look really cute. I tried to add some wine behind the bar, because I thought that could look good, but I ended up just not doing that, because I thought it looked a bit weird. So, I tried. I put in this plant, which I thought made a difference. Plants always make a difference. They're so useful. Oh yeah, and here is when I'm like, okay, this room's not going to work, so I break it up and put back in the mailbox that I knew I was going to use in this building from the moment I started it. Honestly, one of the main inspirations. And here's the staff room. I actually don't think I ended up finishing it in the speed build. Funnily enough, it is finished in the final build, but I think in the speed build I mostly finish it, and then I finished the rest of it off camera, which I didn't mean to do. I kind of accidentally did that. So that's fun. And then I swear I didn't delete the posters here, but they're no longer on the wall, so I added them back in. And that's the end of the build. I'll give you a tour now. So we start outside, and we'll come into the laundromat, which is essentially where we started the build. So, fitting for the build first. Then we come in to see the fully furnished back area. Here we come in and see the pizza restaurant. The kitchen of the pizza restaurant, which is fully functional. I've got all the stuff in the pizza restaurant that you need. If you wanted to make it work as a pizza restaurant, I recommend deleting the interiors of the upstairs apartments. And then here we've got the staff room for the pizza restaurant too. We come back outside before going in one final time, this time to the central hallway. We go up the stairs, and then to our left we go into our first apartment, which is the apartment that I made with the business chic kit. In here we've got this beautiful living room. We have the navy blue, and then we've got the wooden paneling, which actually I forgot to mention in the speed build that yes, we have the wooden paneling instead of the navy. Then we come into the bedroom, which is like entirely navy. I don't show the bathrooms in the tour, by the way, because they were just too hard to film in. We come in here to the cozy kitchen apartment. We start in the living room, which I really like. Then we go to the bedroom, which ends up just becoming essentially green, which wasn't the original intention. We come back in here, which we've got the book nook apartment. So we've got these beautiful bookshelves. Then in here we've got the bunk beds, and then underneath we've got the desk that I'm not sure if it has a computer or not. In here we've got the master bedroom, which has got the double bed and the dresser and some plants and probably nothing else. Now we come into the pastel pop apartment. You can see here we've got this living room, which has the oranges and the pinks, mainly, as well as some pops of yellow. And then finally, we're back into the bedroom, where we've got this purple and yellow colour scheme going on, which I think looks really nice. And then we come back outside for the final time, and that is this build done. If you enjoyed today's video and the build, you can download it in my gallery, and if you enjoyed the video, I really appreciate if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's a really small channel, it helps out a ton. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!